Welcome to episode 586 of AI Brief.
I mean, we are looking at things that just fundamentally rewrite the rules.
We really are. Today, we are unpacking how DeepSeek's V4 Flash is basically turning elite AI agents into a budget commodity. And then, well, we're looking at some wild leaks in the physical sciences.
Like China's new world record fusion magnet and this incredible discovery of a ghost lineage hiding inside human DNA.
Plus, we will round things out with a look at today's trending AI tools to boost your productivity.
What is so fascinating about today's lineup is how it perfectly captures this transition we are in. We are seeing rapid digital intelligence bleeding directly into incredible physical and biological engineering breakthroughs.
It is all connected, which actually brings us to today's new updates. I want to start with the shifting economics of computing, specifically what is happening with DeepSeek pushing their V4 Flash Era 731 model.
This has gone from, a sort of beta curiosity into a massive commercial threat almost overnight.
It is crazy. So this is an open weights model with 284 billion parameters. And on Terminal Bench 2.1, it scored an 82.7, which actually beats their larger V4 Pro preview.
Which is huge considering it boasts a 1 million token context window and operates under an MIT license. But, the real shock here is the cost factor.
That is the part that just breaks my brain. It has an input price of just 14 cents per million tokens, and Silicon Flow is already serving it at standard, non-promotional pricing.
It attacks the most economically sensitive layer of AI. Delivering near-frontier performance on commodity hardware shifts all that pricing power away from closed model providers. It is accelerating a massive AI price war.
It is like being handed the blueprints and parts for a multi-million-dollar hypercar, but you can run and maintain it on the budget of a daily commuter.
The hardware benchmarks totally back up that hypercar analogy, too.
Let's talk about those. On 4 RTX 5090 GPUs, it is hitting 62.32 tokens per second. 6 RTX 4090s get you 51.74 tokens per second.
And even on a DGX Spark, you are getting 19.09 tokens per second. But you have to factor in the VRAM requirements, which is where the unsloth quantizations come in.
Tell me about those, because getting this to run locally is the holy grail.
Well, the unsloth quantizations need about 97 gigabytes of VRAM for the iQ3XXS build. If you want the UDQ8KXF build, that takes about 162 gigabytes.
Which is so accessible compared to traditional data centers. I saw a community test where a user generated a completely functional game on an $8,000 DGX Spark system.
Oh, wow. What was the inference cost on that?
7 cents.
7 cents for a functional game. That just completely destroys the old cost barriers.
It really does. But running all this massive computational power requires an incredible amount of physical engineering to power the future, which leads us to everything else happening in AI and science today. Leah, I will let you take the lead on this science roundup.
Well, starting with energy, we just saw a massive milestone in China with their craft fusion project. They successfully ran full load testing on a 582-ton toroidal field coil in Hefei.
Wait, 582 tons. That is physically heavier than a fully loaded Boeing 747 aircraft.
It is colossal. And it generates a magnetic field strong enough to trap plasma at 100 million degrees Celsius. The magnetic field acts like an invisible cage, so the plasma never actually touches the reactor walls.
The sheer scale of the engineering required to contain star-level heat on Earth is just mind-blowing.
And this is just one piece. Eventually, 16 of these will form a ring for a fusion power plant. But moving from physical engineering to biological engineering, AI is making huge strides in anti-aging.
I'm always fascinated by how we are treating aging like a solvable mechanical problem now.
Well, as we age, blood sugars react with proteins to form AGEs, that is, advanced glycation end products. They are these sticky, inflammatory molecules that cause rigid tissues and heart disease.
They're basically like biological rust building up in our system over time.
Exactly that. So scientists used AI to identify and engineer a natural enzyme called CM-lase, specifically designed to remove these compounds.
Oh, so they engineered a microscopic tool to go in and just snip away the rust.
And the results were wild. In one test, applying this enzyme restored 70-year-old human skin to the AGE levels of a 30-year-old.
Reversing 40 years of cellular aging in a tissue test? That is incredible.
It is a massive leap. And while we are engineering our biological future, we're also decoding our past. Analysis of 503 modern genomes just uncovered traces of an unknown archaic human lineage.
A ghost population, basically.
Yes, a ghost lineage. And its signature is present in every single living population on Earth today. It actually split from our branch over 500,000 years ago.
It is amazing that a 500,000-year-old genetic mystery is just sitting inside the DNA of every person listening to this.
What is even more interesting is where it shows up. It is found in genome regions we previously thought were uniquely human, including near a gene linked to speech.
That is fascinating. So this ghost population spread across the ancient world entirely on foot, which is quite a contrast to how we travel now.
Oh, speaking of human travel, a custom Airbus A350-1000 ULR just broke the record for the longest commercial flight in history.
I saw this, Melbourne to Toulouse, right?
Yes, in 24 hours and 25 minutes, they covered 23,075 kilometers, completely shattering the 2005 record. It's all part of Qantas's Project Sunrise.
Which is aiming for non-stop Sydney-London commercial service by 2027. We are literally shrinking the globe. But let's bring things back down to immediate, practical utility for your daily workflow, looking at today's trending AI tools.
These are the tools that are actually taking all this high-level intelligence and applying it to everyday business problems.
First up is Fuzzy AI. This is an AI-powered prospect warming tool for sales outreach. It handles the ambient interactions before you ever send a direct message.
The real benefit here is automating those tedious initial touches. You're only stepping in when the lead is actually warm and ready for human interaction.
Then we have Lev 8, which is an AI tool for finding, researching, and targeting the exact people you need to reach.
This is perfect for bypassing those generic lead lists so you can pinpoint exact niche B2B targets based on highly specific criteria.
For interacting with those targets, there is Humalike, integrating with Hermes. It is a social intelligence plugin for the Hermes agent ecosystem.
It gives your agents deep social context. It makes AI interactions feel way less robotic because the system actually understands conversational nuances.
On the internal operations side, we have Nautis. This is an AI native operating system designed specifically for founders.
Early-stage startups are chaotic. Nautis just centralizes all that fragmented workflow into one single hub so you can focus on strategy instead of hunting down documents.
Next is Migma AI. This is AI-powered email marketing, but the standout feature is that it improves with every single campaign you send.
It takes the guesswork out of newsletters. It creates self-optimizing campaigns that actually learn from your audience's open rates and adjust automatically.
Finally, for team communication, there is PromptQL. It is a multiplayer AI collaboration platform designed to completely replace tools like Slack.
It moves your team chats into a shared workspace where you are communicating directly alongside AI models to generate code or analyze data together.
Before we wrap up, I want to leave you with something to think about. Between DeepSeek driving the cost of complex digital labor down to practically pennies, AI engineering enzymes that reverse tissue aging, and fusion unlocking boundless energy, we are in a massive transition.
We really are crossing a threshold here.
We are moving from an era of information scarcity into an era where intelligence, health, and energy might become universally abundant. How do you even begin to plan for a daily routine in a world like that? It is something to seriously mull over. Make sure to follow and share the podcast so you do not miss what comes next. See you in the next episode.
Thank you for listening and keep building the future.